Welcome back to the channel, guys. And just recently we got another Q&A with Tim Martin, the CEO and production designer for Frost Giant Studios, regarding Stormgate. And I would like to go over some of the questions that's been asked in this article. It's been written by Sophie McCarthy at esports.net. And I will be leaving the link to the interview in the description below in case you guys would like to read it yourself as well. Some answers are short and some are pretty long, so I'll be giving you a short summary of them as well. But before we go over this interview, I would like to thank all of you who supports this channel. If you would like to see more content on Stormgate and all the news regarding the game and other RTS games that coming soon, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and let me know in the comments below what you thoughts of this interview. Your support and feedback is much appreciated. And now let's dive into this Q&A. In the first question, Sophie asks, can we expect a strong competitive esports experience for Stormgate, or will the focus be to develop the single player and co-op game modes? And Tim's response was, the game core experience is known as the 4 C's: campaign, competitive, cooperative, and custom games, and will be supported for all players and their preferred activities. The game aims to continue the RTS genres and legacies of world-class competition, which was the key factor in bringing its closed beta to DreamHack Atlanta for its first ever live show match. The game's competitive and fun nature will be showcased to the world. Personally, I think it's a good thing that we have a company that's trying to please pretty much everybody. I'm just a little bit worried that they're gonna stretch themselves too thin. Usually, as the saying goes, you can't please everybody, but hopefully they are gonna be able to prove us wrong, and we're gonna get not only compelling story and good co-op mode, but we're also gonna get a very good game for esports side. And next question we have, if the focus will be on the esports scene, what would be your ideal competitive format? As if 1v1, 2v2, or even 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1. You can say that 3 times fast again. Will there be any unique twist to this style? And Tim's answer was, currently focused on 2 formats, 1v1 and 3v3. The primary competitive mode is 1v1, which is offered without heroes, focusing on player management of armies at both macro and micro levels. After releasing a Stormgate to early access next summer, a 3v3 team-based mode will be tested, where each player controls a hero. Heroes in Stormgate contribute more than just powerful unit on the battlefield, creating avenues for role differentiation and specialization. They modify tech trees, giving players access to new units and alternate army compositions. The vision is for 3 players on a team to customize their heroes to create powerful team synergies. The 3v3 mode will likely not be a deathmatch style format, but rather a bespoke mode designed to keep all players involved and having fun throughout the match. While it is too early to go into great details on 3v3, the company believes it can become one of their most fun modes and potentially a premier competitive mode for high-level competition. It's definitely exciting to see companies trying to come up with something new and refreshing, considering that RTS haven't been as popular these days like they used to be. And who knows, maybe with them trying to rework the 3v3 mode and bring it to the esports side with some of the features that we might not have seen in the game yet, or even with, considering having the jungles or aka it's creep, then it's going to be interesting to see, and definitely can't wait to get our hands on when we're going to get the early access this summer. Next, Sophie asks, we noticed similar design patterns to established legacy titles. Do you intend to introduce more racist factions to the final game? And Tim said this: new campaign content will be released in regular season updates, with the possibility of introducing the fourth playable faction in the future. Now, that's not, I guess we could kind of say that it is confirmed a fourth faction's coming, which is pretty exciting considering that a lot of the games we only see three factions, and who knows, maybe we might even see more than four considering how much content they got planned for the campaign in general. At this point they could introduce as many of them as possible, but I don't think they're gonna do too many considering that you have to balance them, especially if you're gonna focus on the esports side of the game. And I'm sure that could be a complete nightmare trying to balance 4 or 5 factions at the same time. But hey, we'll see. Next is regarding other platforms, and Sophie asks, once the game is fully released, will it be available for crossplay or on platforms other than Steam? And Tim said, Stormgate is set to be released on various platforms, including Steam, with aim to be supporting crossplay and keep players connected. However, confirmation of whether this will be available on other platforms beyond Steam is currently unavailable. And in my opinion, honestly, everybody likes to play on one platform if we can. Steam's been kind of main platform for pretty much all the people, and I'm sure that a lot of people don't like to be dealing with multiple platforms except Steam. I mean, we're dealing with Battle.net right now when we're playing StarCraft, but it would be nice to have it available on other platforms where you don't have to worry about downloading a different platform to be able to play this game. So we'll see what they got in store for us when the game comes out. Next question we have: we really like the buffs and special camps on the map as an interesting objective-based concept. Are there plans to introduce more advanced gameplay or unit mechanics? Tim had to say this: the game's design team is exploring the possibility of introducing more advanced gameplay or unit mechanics. They're exploring the concept of creep camps that provide resource bonuses and buffs to encourage players to move on the map, rewarding them for achieving territory control. Some camps also offer neutral siege units to break stalemates. The team is also exploring various designs for advanced gameplay or unit mechanics, such as the Inferno Host, a magic-using faction that harvests animus from any death of the battlefield to cast ritual magic. They are also exploring other mechanics and are eager to bring them to the player. I'm glad to hear that the team is exploring more advanced gameplay and unit mechanics, because we need more of that stuff. We want more varieties and more options to the player. It would be definitely interesting to see what they got in store for us. Next question: will there be a balancing or ELO MMR based system for competitive play? Stormgate will feature an MMR based system developed with support from Flux and Toxie of W3 champions. The system aims to create a global community of players matched by skill level, ensuring matches feel enjoyable for both players. The system will be based on ELO MMR System, which was revived by the community-driven ladder and server infrastructure of W3 champions. This larger player base will result in better matchmaking and deeper player pool. In case you don't know what MMR is, in short, your MMR goes up when you win and goes down when you lose. In competitive modes, the different MMR levels are typically denoted with specific ranks. For example, many game structures their competitive ranks as bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, masters, and grandmasters, which you typically see like in StarCraft, with each rank representing a particular range of MMR levels. When it works correctly, an MMR system should make games more accessible and fun for all players, regarding of their skill level. competitive modes, a player's MMR is usually a publicly available number that is determined using a series of placement matches. During these placement matches, you will not be tied to a specific rank. Instead, the matchmaking system will place you into varying ranked games and use that data to determine the best place for you in the game competitive ecosystem. And overall, I think that that's a very good system to use. It works well in other games, as we've seen in StarCraft, and I believe they believe that this system will be right for this game as well, considering that we have a lot of developers coming from Warcraft and StarCraft games. So if it worked before, then it's like the saying goes, don't change something that's not broken. Now bear with me, guys. We only got a couple more questions left. The next one is, will there be victory path or win conditions beyond the base destruction available? And Tim had said to say this. The game currently has base destruction as the sole win condition for 1v1, but the company plans to explore other paths to victory in its 3v3 team-based mode after its early access release next summer. Players may concede and call GG before the base is even destroyed once the opponent has achieved a superior position. And in my opinion, that's actually pretty cool. I know a lot of the times people surrender and type in GG when the game kind of looks like it's heading in the bad ending for them. But if there's going to be other conditions, especially in the co-op mode, 3v3 mode, then it's going to be interesting to see what they got in store for us. Or we might see like a domination or maybe a capture the flag, which we don't often see in RTS games. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to see what they got in store for us next summer during the early access. And the last question Sophie asked Tim was, what training or tutorial features will be there to encourage new players to join not just Stormgate but the RTS genre? And Tim had to say this. Stormgate plans to introduce cooperative play with experienced friends through on-the-fly learning aids and standalone story-driven tutorial for new players. Educational tools will be developed, including bot training partners that are predisposed to playing in specific ways. One bot may be scripted to attack with a popular rush strategy, allowing players to train defense against it safely without needing to figure it out counterplay against a live opponent. Inspired by chess.com's work in making chess more approachable and welcoming to a new generation of players. Stormgate will explore similar training tools for Stormgate. This will be focused after the initial early access launch. And that's pretty interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting what kind of plays and strategies players going to come up with after the release, and I'm sure we've probably seen some of them now during the competitive matches that we've seen at the ESL. But having a bot to play a specific way and actually be able to set that up so that way you can practice against it is definitely going to be a very useful tool, especially for the new players who might not have as much time to put in and practice, but at least they can dedicate their time going against the bot who has a specific strategy planned for them. So yes, definitely interesting feature to have in this game. And that's gonna be it for this interview, guys. Overall, I think this wasn't a bad interview at all. I really like the fact that they are focusing on their 4 C's, the campaign, competitive, cooperative, and custom games features. I just worry that how they usually go. Sometimes people just spread themselves too thin, and one feature might be better than the other, and they're not gonna be kind of like equally good. And I just really hope that they have enough resources and time to kind of take care of all of those things. But I'm definitely looking forward to more on this game, and I can't wait for the early access this summer. I definitely would like to get more new footage for you guys and gameplay and guides to this game. And not only that, but we also hit that 1.7 million milestone in the Kickstarter, which means we're going to be getting advanced hero customization, which is part of the gameplay features, which I'm very excited to see. And when we hit the 2 million milestone in a Kickstarter, we will be getting webtoon series, art, story, and lore, which I'm very excited to get more lore on this game, which we're definitely going to be covering on this channel, guys. If you enjoyed this video and would like to stay updated on everything Stormgate related and other RTS games, and guys, with lore covering, then please hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the like and let me know what you thought of this video and interview in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.